Hey there! Are you planning a trip to Ghana for the first time and you're asking yourself, what is the culture and tradition like for the people of Ghana? I don't want to hurt anybody, I don't want to be rude. Then guess what? I am your savior. In this video, I will be sharing with you 10 cultural do's and don'ts that you must know before booking that flight to Ghana. Or even if you're already in Ghana but you're finding it difficult to relate to the people of Ghana, then this video is for you. Let's get right into the video. Vonne here. On this channel, I share with you all you need to know about the Ghanaian culture, traditions, and life in Ghana. So if this is something that you are interested in, like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the bell icon, and watch my other videos. I have already made a part 1 of this video, cultural etiquette, do's and don'ts before you come to Ghana. So if you haven't watched that, kindly do so after this video. I'll put the link somewhere later in the video. I know learning any new culture is so difficult. That is why I'm here. I'm going to break down the basic of the Ghanaian culture, things that you must know before coming to Ghana. You definitely have to watch my first video. It still holds all the information that you need to know. So this is just like a top up. These are all things that I couldn't mention in my first video. So we are starting with the do's, things that you must do in the Ghanaian culture. The first one, if you've ever watched any video or read any book or any article about the Ghanaian culture, you know how much we cherish this #1 culture, and that is the greetings. That is greetings. Greetings, I said in my previous video, is like medicine for the people of Ghana. So when you meet somebody, you must greet. If anybody is coming from Africa, they already know because it's kind of like an African thing. But if you're coming from the Western culture, you know, people just move around. But here in Ghana, when you meet somebody, and especially with the elderly people, you must greet them. You must greet. And even with your peers, you know, you don't just go straight to the point with your peers. They are going to be your friends. So the second cultural do's and don'ts is we are still centered on greetings, but this is twisted. So how it works with greetings is that normally if somebody comes to your space, they need to greet you. For example, I am here. If you come to my home, you will need to greet me because I am in my space and you came to my space, so you need to greet me. Yeah, that is the norm. But when it's an elderly person, it doesn't work like that. It works the opposite way. Even though you are in your space, they are elderly. When they come to your space, you still need to greet them. So for example, your uncle comes to your home. Even though it's your home and you are there, you still need to get up and greet your uncle. It's not culturally right to wait for an elderly person to greet you. You would have to greet them. And when you greet them, hold on, do not ask them, how are you doing? Please, you can ask that with your peers, but don't ask that with an elderly person, okay? Just greet them and then they are going to ask you, how are you doing? You respond and you cut it. You don't ask them like, how are you doing in return. Now things are changing. A lot of people don't find offense with that. You can do that with somebody that you know very well, like your uncle or your dad or a very good friend of yours. You can ask them, how are you doing? But in general, you just greet and then you leave it like that. So greet people, #1. The second one also with greetings is if it's an elderly person, you would have to greet them. But if it's your peers, when they meet you in your space, they are required to greet you. And the same for you. If you go and meet somebody in their space, you are required to greet them. So the third cultural do's is that when you visit somebody, please ask for them to offer you a seat before you sit down. You don't just enter somebody's room and then just sit down. You have to ask, can I have a seat? Can I sit? And then they're going, oh, of course, like feel free. You know, it's polite to ask. You know. So the fourth thing you need to do when you come to Ghana so that you can coexist peacefully with the people of Ghana is when you visit somebody, yes, we are still on the visiting, please ask if you can bring your shoes into their room. I know it sounds awkward and weird. Most people have this tradition and culture where they don't take their slippers, into their bedrooms, into their living room. Hygienically, it is not proper with all these dirt and stuff like that around the city. You go to the market, you're stepping on somebody's spit, somebody's pee. You don't want to bring the same slippers walking straight into your bedroom. So personally, I do that. When I go out and I come back, I have an area just in my living room or even outside my living room where I keep my slippers, and I clean it before I take it to where I keep my shoes. So when you enter somebody's room and you feel uncomfortable taking your shoes off, at least ask them, oh, can I bring my shoes inside? They're probably going to assess what you're wearing and determine if it's going to be too much work for you to take it off, and then they'll be like, yeah, you can bring it in, it's okay. Or somebody will just tell you, no, you have to take it off. So that is another cultural etiquette that you must know before booking that flight to Ghana. And also make sure you're watching this video till the end. I have 2 bonuses for you guys. Somebody asked me a very interesting question. I'm going to answer that question at the end of this video. Let's move on to the don'ts. The first part was things that you should do. Now we are on the don'ts, things that you do not do. Absolutely not. So the first thing that you don't do in Ghana, which will be our faith culture do's and don'ts, is you don't talk over an elderly person. I know enough of this elderly person. Yes, this is our culture. We really cherish our elders and we give them all this respect in the world because we believe that they've lived a life that we haven't lived before. It doesn't matter if they are poor or they are rich or whatever, they've experienced life a number of years that we haven't, so we still respect them. I know that some of them take advantage of this respect, but it is still our cultural duty to still respect them. Please, if you're coming to Ghana for the first time or you're already in Ghana, please do not talk over an elderly person. So I'll give you an example. If you have an argument or there's a cause to settle with an elderly person and they are talking, even if you feel like it's not a true story that they are telling, please, I'm begging you, do not talk over them. Because the moment you do that, you worsen your case. Like whatever you say after, it's like you don't respect. People are not going to listen to you because you've talked over an elderly person, So it kind of like validates their story even though it's not true. So just keep calm, let them say whatever they want to say, let them finish, and then you ask them, can I talk now? Yeah, you have to play according to the culture, okay? So you don't talk over an elderly person, like whilst they are talking, the way you do with your peers, like argue and stuff like that. You don't do that with an elderly person. All right, let's move on to the next don't. Don't point at people. Don't go pointing like this. No, don't go pointing at people, I'm not talking about like in the fight when you're like, oh, this. No, I'm talking about when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're pointing at another person like, oh, see the girl there. Like, no, the one. No, you don't do that. You don't. It is so unacceptable. The person will walk up to you and be like, what were you saying about me? Why were you pointing at me? They want to know because from the other person, it's so uncomfortable watching somebody, constantly pointing at you and then you don't know what they're saying. You don't even know the person and then they're pointing at you. It is so uncomfortable and it is culturally not acceptable. So please do not do that when you come to Ghana. Don't go pointing at somebody unless you are kind of like directing somebody to them and like they are going to them, so eventually it's going to justify you pointing at them. Please do not point at them. I used to work in a hotel, so sometimes when somebody comes to the front desk and they be like, oh, I'm looking for this person, and you can see them sitting right there. Even with that, you just have to be, nice about pointing at them. You don't just go like, oh, there he is, So please do not point at people. If you are gossiping, just gossip with your eyes. Let me give you a trick. So if you're gossiping about somebody, you can just describe the person to whoever you're gossiping about. And then the trick is you do not turn exactly the moment they describe the person to you, because then it's going to give you out like you're gossiping about the person. So you can just, so for example, if I'm gossiping about a friend there and I'm gossiping with you, okay, so I'm gonna be like, do you see the lady on the left, wearing the blue dress? Don't turn now, don't turn, just hold on, you can turn later. She's doing this and that, and then you say whatever you want to say, and then your gossip partner will just turn like 1 minute later to be like, okay, and then you see, that's a trick. But you don't just go like pointing, do you see the lady there with this, and then you, the gossip partner, will just stand like this and watch. No, you don't do that. Okay, next one, the next cultural don'ts. This one I am guilty of. I know there are lots of cultural things that I am guilty of, but I have a way of kind of like going about it. I have found a better way of going about it that is not so into the people's face. So the next thing is, do not smell food. It is uncomfortable for the person who gave you the food. 2, it is culturally not acceptable. It is rude to smell food when somebody has offered you the food. With me, okay, when I smell something nice, I just want to eat it. Like, I am that type. I eat food with my nose. So even with drinks and stuff, I still smell kind of. I need to smell and put myself in that mood of wanting to eat. And I know there are people just like me, but in Ghana, it is unacceptable, culturally unacceptable. Our traditions do not permit you. Your mother cannot give you food and you go like, she's going to sound, sound, when they say sound you, she's going to sound you, so you cannot do that. You cannot smell food, especially in the presence of whoever offered you the food, in the restaurant, in your home, at a party. You cannot smell food. Let me know in the comment section if you can relate to any of these cultural do's and don'ts. If you have any of these rules in your country, let me know in the comment section. And also, if you've been to Ghana and you flawed any of this cultural etiquette, let me know in the comment section. What was the reaction of the people around you? How did it get out of that? Let me know in the comment section. So let's move on to the next point, which will be, do not take pictures of people without their permission. Nobody wants to be photographed, nobody wants to be videoed. If you enter like a restaurant and there are people, maybe like 5 people there, or a group of people there, and you need to take a picture of the place or do a video of the place, please, it will be so polite to ask them like, oh, I want to make a video of this place, I hope you don't mind. And they'll be like, yeah, is our face showing or this? They'll just ask you questions and stuff like that. But please, if it's possible, ask the people around before you take photographs of them, because if they see you taking videos or photographs of them, they are going to be angry at you. Some will actually come to you and be like, you have to delete that picture. So please, if you want to take a picture of a group of people, please ask their permission, or a video, ask the permission before you do so. Okay, a girl needs to pose for the picture, like if I'm at a place and you have to take a video or a picture of the place, I don't mind, but let me know so that I can get everything in place, look good for that picture or video. You never know, I'm still single, so just by the way. But that is one thing you don't do. Like, you have to ask permission from people before you take their photographs. And if you cannot, you gotta be discreet about it, because if they find you, just be discreet. That's all I can say. as I said early on, I've already made a part 1 of this video detailing some of the cultural etiquette that you must know before coming to Ghana. So I'm going to put the link somewhere in this video. You can go watch it so that you know what other things to do and not do if you're coming to Ghana for the first time. Let's move on to the next cultural do's and don'ts. Do not smoke in public. Our culture frowns on smoking. Most people here in Ghana are very, very religious. Majority of us are Christians. So apart from it being culturally unacceptable, it is also religiously unacceptable. So our religion does not permit us to smoke. With the cannabis, it is illegal in Ghana at the moment. So if you're coming from all this Western culture where it is already legal there, please do not come to Ghana thinking it is legal so you can just smoke anywhere. Number 10, cultural etiquette you shouldn't do in Ghana is please do not rush us with time. Okay, please, this is Ghana. Okay, let us move at our own pace. We're already stressed with, life and politics and all the things happening in the world. We don't want to stress ourselves with time and you need to be here and you need to, please, just relax. If you give us a time, we'll be there eventually, okay? Just we'll be a little late. If you say 7, I will be there by 7:30. It's okay. I mean, life is too short, we don't have to stress ourselves. So anyway, this is my 10 cultural etiquette do's and don'ts, things that you must know about the Ghanaian culture before you step your foot in Ghana. I promise you some bonus tips, so I'm gonna give that right after this. Let me know in the comment section if this has been helpful in any way. Let me know. I love to hear from you guys. Also, what else you would love to know about the Ghanaian culture. Number 1 is do not cross your legs in the presence of an elderly person. Yes, both ladies and guys. I know ladies do that a lot, and we are taught like growing up as a lady, you have to dress well. When you sit down, you have to cross your legs. No, not in the Ghanaian culture, especially in the presence of an elderly person. Like, you can just sit and cross your legs. It's a sign of disrespect to the elderly person. So you can sit decently. You can cross your ankles on the floor, and that is way acceptable than crossing your legs over the other one. So that is the bonus tip for you. And the second bonus tip is a weird question that I had, and I was thinking, actually this is so true. When it comes to thumbs up, this, like, oh yeah, I got you. So there's a thin line between this thumbs up and another thumbs up that is unacceptable. It is like the rudest insult you can give to a human being. I cannot even demonstrate it here because it will be like I'm insulting you. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Please forgive me if you're watching this, you're Ghanaian. It's just a demonstration for people. So this is thumbs up, which means yeah, good. And then, and there's another. If you bring this thumb down, you're insulting somebody, and it is so nasty. I cannot even demonstrate it. Okay, so you got to be very, very careful if you're doing a thumbs up. And you cannot really do thumbs up for the elderly people, but within your peers you can do thumbs up, but you have to be very careful. You're not bringing your thumb like down, it's an insult, so please be very careful. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Make sure to check out my other videos. I'll put the link in the description box. Thank you so much. Until next video, take care, and remember that life is short. You must live your truth. Bye.